Hey everybody, welcome back. For the last part, we're going over the assignments and grading for the course. So you have weekly multiple choice quizzes. There's a plagiarism quiz. That one's pretty simple. It's 5 multiple choice questions. You can do it as many times as you want till you get a perfect score. But the normal chapter multiple choice quizzes, you can only take 1 time, and they do have a time limit. Then you've got 4 essay exams. Those are open book, open notes with no time limit. It's 1 exam per unit. And then you have weekly discussion board questions. And then finally an analysis paper, right? So grand total 710 points. So again, the quizzes, they go over the chapter that we're reading. Occasionally I throw in a true false, but for the most part they're multiple choice. The essay exams are a combination of short and long essay questions. The short questions are what I call term definitions. I give you events, people, sometimes places, sometimes particular documents and U.S. history, and you have to discuss what they are and what is their significance. And so you would connect back, remember those 2 SLOs, the student learning outcomes, where you're supposed to be able to identify political trends, historical events, discuss their cause, effect, and their significance. That's what the term definitions on the essay exams are all about, right? So talking about what led to the Constitution, for example, what was the impact, and what's the significance of, say, the U.S. Constitution, or maybe something more interesting, or not interesting, but easy, like the Declaration of Independence. All right, and then you have long essay questions as well, and you'll get the terms and the essay questions on the study guides, and on the essay exams you'll get a few choices from that study guide, and then you'll have to choose an answer, 1 or 2. All right, online discussion board points. Each week we have a new discussion board, and you have to answer the questions assigned to you, and then also do 2 responses to something I post or to another student's post. And the way that I work this is I leave every discussion open for 2 weeks. So in the first week that is open, your answers are due. You have to write up your answers, cite your sources, treat it like a college level assignment. And then in the second week, you read other people's responses and you do your replies. But each new week, a new set of discussion questions open. So there's an overlap, right? So like in week 1, you're working on questions for week 1. In week 2, you're working on replies for week 1 and the questions for week 2. In week 3, you're working on the replies for week 2 and the discussions for week 3. And I do this because if I make the post and replies due on the same day, that doesn't work very well because usually everybody waits till the last minute to get the assignment done. If I make them due a day apart, sometimes that causes problems as well. Doesn't give me a whole lot of time also to read and reply to your post. So I've settled on the 2-week thing, and so far it's working fairly well. To get max points, you need to completely answer the questions with relevant examples from the book or other course material, and you need to cite your sources. Cite your sources. Cite your sources. Okay. And then for the reply post, they also have some requirements of like 200 words apiece. Please remember the reply posts are not peer reviews. It's not about you wrote well or you didn't write well or you answered that question well or you didn't answer that question well. It's not what it's about. It's about engaging with the reading and the material and learning together. So adding to the discussion, adding to someone's post some additional information, perspective, insight, maybe identifying some political trend that you thought was important and relates to the post of your peer, right? So it's like an actual kind of group discussion on what we're learning. I did put in there what I recommend in terms of do's and don'ts. You'll see that at the bottom of the syllabus. Also, there will be a total of 255 discussion board points. You only need 225. So again, that gives you 30 flex points, meaning that you can skip up to 2 of these discussions, or each worth 15 points apiece. You do not need to email me and let me know that you're skipping. Skip any 2 that you want. I don't recommend skipping them back to back because that could get you dropped from the class unless you let me know ahead of time that you're going to be doing that. But you know, if you want to skip, say, week 6, and then you're going to do it again at the end of the course, that's okay. Skip whichever ones you desire, and then I will mark them as excused in the grade book up to 2 of them. Okay. Now, what happens if you don't skip any? If you don't skip any, what I do is I take the last 2. I will still mark them excused, but I will roll those points into the extra credit column. If you don't want to do extra credit that way, don't worry, I'll offer other opportunities for extra credit, but that is one way to get extra credit in this class. Okay. And then also, please note that because week 1 discussions are open for 2 weeks, I won't grade it until the due date is actually closed for both the post and reply. So you won't get a grade back until the end of week 2, beginning of week 3. If you're stressed out and want me to review your post, just shoot me an email. I can take a look at it and make sure it meets the requirements. And then I also noticed there's some double L's in there when I moved this from a PDF to a Word document. It kind of mucked up my L's. Don't stress. Hopefully that changes back when I post the PDF copy. It's just a changing back from a Word document to a PDF issue. All right, folks, that is it. If you have any questions, what can you do? That's right. Call me, text me, email me, drop by during Zoom hours. I'm here to help. Love to help. That's a great part of my job. And you guys are definitely not alone taking this class, even though it is online. All right, I will see you in a Chapter 1, Week 1 lecture. Again, pre-recorded for you to watch whenever it is convenient for you.